Welcome back to the Kobe episode of the Pride Podcast, episode 24. We are here, and a monumental occasion occurred today. Arsenal stomped over the Etihad, stole a point, marched back to London, and we're here now. And before we go anywhere, first clip, TikTok, this one's for you. If you're watching this, that means I just showed you the prediction from last week. I called for everyone here that an unstoppable force is going to meet an immovable object. It'll be an entertaining game, but the game will result in a 0-0 draw. And ladies and gentlemen, word for word, bar for bar, that is exactly what happened today. I just want to ask before we continue, Faris and Rayan, as neutrals, do you agree that this game was entertaining? Or do you think it was the snooze fest that Twitter proclaimed it to be?
I had a good time.
I'm going to defer to Faris.
I had a good time. I had a good time, yeah. You want like my rundown of the game or just what we're doing? Simple thoughts?
Simple
you
thoughts.
Tell me.
Keep it real simple.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. Like, I know a lot of people online were saying like, oh man, waste of time. Like, it was pretty boring. But like, what I was looking at, Arteta, structure, defending, like I was enjoying it. I kind of like that stuff, just seeing the shape.
That was a nerd ooze fest. Like,
yeah.
And I think everyone on Twitter today that called that game boring, it was the day of judgment. Everyone exposed themselves for what they are. If you understand this game, today we found out. If you don't, it's okay. Football's still for you. There's still a space for the guys that want.
It's an acquired taste. It's an acquired
Exactly. I don't think I was here 3 years ago, but I've fully taken on the teachings of Arteta, and I'm here to learn. And my God, dude, like I was telling Nibs, me and Nibs and Ninja, we're all under one roof as Arsenal fans for the past week. And bro, like I felt like I was going to play on Sunday. That's how nervous I was leading up to this game. You know what I mean? Like the day before, I had my game fit laid out on the bed next to me, jersey, pants, whatever. And the occasion came, and I can confidently say that our players were not as nervous as me. The game I saw today, there were moments where, a Kivior bad touch, a Tamayasu bad touch, right? Fringe players that, probably aren't ready for a moment like this. But the core of our team, they were there to be counted today, and I could not be more proud. I saw rival fans making fun of Arsenal fans for being satisfied with a draw. If I recall correctly, none of them have beaten Manchester City at the Etihad this season, or last season, or the season before that. So I struggle to see where this assumption that we were supposed to beat City comes from. There's a lot of insecurity, I feel like, when it comes to Arsenal, to where now the bar is, why didn't you beat Manchester City at the Etihad? And I'm so glad we're here.
You had a lot to get off your chest today. I'm appreciating this.
Nibs, we cannot hear you, by the way, if you're trying to speak. But while we wait for you to figure that out, I just want to give a quick recap of the game. It started and ended, cagey, I would say, right? I think I was surprised to see that Arteta was so ready to concede possession. Like, I think last year we lost, 3-1 at the Etihad, but we held 66% possession.
So I'll side with the Twitter heads here because obviously I didn't get a chance to watch the game. I was traveling at the time. So break down for me, for you guys, right? Why people are saying it's a snooze fest, not a lot of shots gotten off. They're calling it a Saka versus Foden mid-off, him limping after a lousy performance. So break that down to,
I think that's a fantastic question because it allows us to break the game up into three parts, right? First, like, why was it cagey? I saw a lot of discourse, and let's address that first. To be completely honest, both sides started 4 center backs and 2 defensive mids, right? So from the get-go, it wasn't set up to be an attack fest from either side. I know Arsenal probably led the pragmatism, but it's not like City were there set up from the get-go with like 6 attackers. You know what I mean? So I think that definitely played a part. Also, and this is where I'll shift the blame per se on Arsenal, right? You watch a typical Arsenal game, we are pressing incredibly high. We are pressing incredibly, like, with tenacity. Today it wasn't that until for one patch in the second half. And you could see when that switch was triggered, right? For the first half, it was like a kind of like a half-assed on purpose press, right? Like they would fake a press and then wait and then let them do whatever they wanted, right? And then when we got to our third, it was basically 11 men behind the ball, maybe Odegaard as outlet, and just stay compact. What I will give us immense credit for, usually when you set up like that against City, you welcome the inevitable, right? The breakdown, the goal that goes in. Today, Forrest, you could speak more objectively.
Yeah.
I wasn't afraid for a second that was going to happen.
No, dude, I was telling my brother this too. I was like, this felt like watching one of those like peak Mourinho sides where it was just like, you can't get anything in that box. Like it was perfect defending by Gabriel and Saliba, like so good. And Rice was everywhere, and just like how compact they were, it was like suffocating. Like I just saw Man City pass around the sides for like 30 minutes. Like they couldn't get anything. And the second a ball was played in, swarm. Yeah. I was impressed, and I really haven't seen Arsenal do this much this year. Like it was obviously a game plan. They were gonna concede a lot of possession, but it worked out. You know, they got like several chances on the break. Probably should have put some away, but like the game plan was good and it was consistent. So I appreciated that.
Yeah. No. Go ahead, Nips.
For sure. Like I like the lineup that I saw when the Man City had like the ball in the second middle of the midfield.
Yeah.
Saka being like the fifth defender was something I noticed for the first time in this whole season. Like because Kiyor was doing enough on the left side, I don't think Jesus needed to go all that back. But that kind of back five that Arteta set up, I think Arteta kind of knew that as a team, Arsenal are very like shaky in the very beginning of the game, and City exposes teams like that like all the time in the very first half of the game. I feel like he knew that we were going to grow into the game, so he was more prioritizing defending in the very beginning and making sure the score stayed 0-0. And that's what he set out to achieve, and he achieved that. I feel like once the halftime kind of came, he knew that he can take a little bit more pragmatic approach of attacking, and he did that. And I feel like the game plan worked to a T to Arteta, but obviously he hoped that we would take one of the chances, and we couldn't do that.
I was gonna say this, like, because we watched the Chelsea City 1-1 at the Etihad, and like if you want to see like the other side of the spectrum, like how you deal with defending in a block, and then like just 70 minutes in, you know what, let's just throw all the defenders on and like sit back and lose the shape. Now it's just like you have 7 guys defending, no one to play the outlet ball. And it was like night and day difference, but you know.
Yeah.
And you know, the other thing I'll say, like, the biggest tell that this game had City shut down, you look at their key creator in Kevin De Bruyne, the only moments in this game where he was able to have peace on the ball is when he was on either wing, and we know that's where De Bruyne is probably least effective. Obviously no slight to him, even from there he could be dangerous, but today I've been saying Kevin De Bruyne has not looked on it like him, like his regular self this season, and you know, today wasn't the day he turned it around, right? So props to everybody for managing that. Let's get on to Rayhan's second point, right? The mid-off between Foden and Saka.
Oh man.
And let me be the first to say it was a horrendous game by Bukayo Saka. It was not a good game by any standard. He wasn't productive offensively. He was not productive defensively. He was not productive in possession. He was not productive out of possession, right? He essentially did the bare minimum while he was on the pitch. And then I believe it was the 78th minute or 68th minute, gets subbed off, limps off, usual. Like, it was such a nothing performance that I'm not going to sit here and defend him today, right? What I will say, you look at the discourse online afterwards, everyone is talking about Bukayo Saka. I saw barely anything about Foden, and it goes back to my point that I always say, this is Saka's team. That will never be Foden's team. The buck will never stop with him, right? He is allowed.
It's interesting too because Foden's the team that had 70% possession. You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
he was getting the ball and being tasked to do things offensively, while
Right.
Saka was like fighting for scraps. And I'm not going to defend Saka either. I thought he wasn't even doing like defensive shift either. He was kind of just doing some cardio. But like Foden was the one getting the ball and asked to do stuff, and he was really really off. And again, with Foden, my point's always been like 1 week is good, 1 week is bad. Like I have yet to see like a good campaign across.
And I think this is the closest he's gotten, so credit to him. He does have 18 goals in all competitions, right? This is not to write off the season, right?
Yeah.
But when you're talking about a player the way people have been talking about Foden, things like this can't happen, right? Like, let it be very clear, the onus was not on Arsenal today. The onus was on City today. They're playing at home, right? This is their run-in, which they always perform in, right? We are supposedly the lesser team. They are the defending champions, right? And supposedly Foden is the crown jewel on that crown, right? It's that video I always play. What are you prepared to do? Nobody believes in you. And today he showed why nobody believes in him, right? And maybe this entire Foden Saka debate is premature for both of them. Maybe they're not there at the level we thought they were, right? Because you look back at these player comparisons back in the 2010s, right? When they went head to head, any two players you could name, right? Hazard versus Sanchez, Messi, Ronaldo, Lewandowski, Suarez. Somebody did something.
Yeah.
You never got a game where both these dudes.
It might be
are
too
out
early
there.
for that though for these guys.
No, facts. I agree. Like, I feel like based on the crop of players we have right now, we kind of have to stretch their talents a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
Saka and Foden, being the one of those people that we speak about all the time, the face of the Premier League, it's not at they're definitely not the levels that we had before prior hand. I'm not gonna lie, like, but you also have to kind of admire at least credit the defenses that we have. Like, these two teams with their defensive backline that they have are second to none. I feel like I can at least speak for Arsenal. I see them week in, week out, bro. From even the beginning of the season, I knew we were struggling attacking wise, but my faith in my defense has never been so strong. Like,
They've gotten better over time too.
yeah, 100% agreed. And now that Keywords coming on, and kind of like we had some defensive liabilities with Zinchenko, I feel like Arteta's kind of addressed, like, if not everything, if not like all the stuff that he can. Speaking more about the game a little bit more. I just feel like when you look at this Arsenal team and the performance we put in today, like, barring all the expectations that we have as this team and the young team, like, I haven't seen more of a coached team result than this team. Like, this, like, what we have and what we're working with is, I don't know how much of it, like, if not 90 to 99%, has to go to Arteta, man. Like, these players have some substantial quality, but what Arteta brings out of them, is capable of bringing out of them, is, bro, like, I don't know if we give enough credit to Arteta. Like, I feel like it needs to be more speaking about like what he has done to this team and what kind of results he's producing.
I'm here with that, but let's not also forget the change in personnel between these fixtures this season and last season. There's two very important individual quality differences in that Declan Rice and Saliba are here this season. They were not there the season prior. Last season, we held 7 goals in the 2 fixtures against Manchester City. This season, we conceded 0. And we leaked a total of, I think it was 0.7 XG across both games, right? And obviously, coaching had to do a part, but the same coach was there last year, right? It shows you the difference Saliba makes. It shows you what Declan Rice hunting Kevin De Bruyne in midfield can do, right? And while we're on this topic of, our defensive play, bro, in 2024, this Arsenal side have conceded 4 goals. We're in April. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's nothing to be understated. I think something this game showed that other games haven't showed. Usually we're defending in transition. We're very high up on the pitch, right? There's little asked of our defense, but they answer when the call is there. Mm-hmm. Today they showed they can defend balls to the wall for 90 minutes straight, and against probably one of the best offenses on the planet, right? And I do want to share a little stat, a little fun conversation. I'm sure Forrest will love. So this is what I'm going to use to make my point. I believe that.
Oh God.
Here we go.
Ooh.
I believe that this current Arsenal center back pairing is not just the best on the planet currently, but has every material necessary to go down as, if not one of the best ever, but the best ever, right? Here we have a comparison of Gabriel and Saliba today versus some of the greatest partnerships in Premier League history. You have Vidic and Ferdinand, Terry and Carvalho, and our very own Keown and Adams. Obviously, this is probably the newest pair, so less starts than the rest. You look at the win percentage, the highest out of all of these. You look at the points per game, the highest. Where they lack is the goals conceded per game, which is arguably the most important stat. But you have to factor in Vidic and Ferdinand played for one of the greatest Premier League sides of all time from start to finish. Same goes for Terry and Carvalho. Same goes for Keown and Adams. This center back pairing started when Arsenal were 12th in the league. Mm-hmm. And for them to even be in this graph, to me, is nuts. And I think by the time this 51 starts number approaches these values, these numbers will be even more impressive. I'm not going to say anything outlandish like they have already surpassed these people, but I just want to put their output into historical context, right? What we're witnessing is not some, I don't know, like best of the times. These guys are genuinely, they pass the eye test, they pass the stats test. I could not be happier with our center back recruitment.
Yo, Ryan, where's Van Dijk and Joel Matip at?
The amount of injuries those Liverpool defenses have occurred, they just don't have.
I don't
enough.
see greatest of all time Van Dijk on this list.
That's what I was about to ask too. Obviously, those pairings, didn't play a lot, like Nabir said. We talk about like Pep's dream lineup played like one game together in that Champions League final. So the starts might not be there, but I mean, right now we got what's the saying? Like, can we just appreciate two greats for what they are?
Sure.
All right.
Let's just
all I'm
enjoy
gonna
them,
say
man.
is, dude, chat to me when Gabriel and Saliba concede 15 goals in the whole season.
When they get zero dribbles past, my favorite stat of all time, then talk to me.
I hate that stat, bro. I've seen him get dribbled past. I've literally seen it in my own eyes.
I saw Nicolas Pepe do it. That's a false prophet.
Man just dribbles with him. That's what he does.
Yo, my bad for throwing Van Dijk in this. Credit to Arsenal.
Right.
Yeah, man. It's just unbelievable to me. Let's put the game aside. Actually, no. One more thing. And feel free to add, but I just had to get this off my chest. The Man City boys, we already spoke about how much better we're looking without Zinchenko. Gabriel Jesus, you will answer for your crimes one day for what you did today.
Yeah.
I have never been more frustrated with a player in my life. And I've watched a lot of bad players play football for my club. This guy has the worst case of Anthony syndrome I've seen in this league. Maybe worse than Anthony. He's in all the right places, but the moment he receives the ball, it's like his brain falls out right there, and the rest of his actions are just whatever he could come up with. He has clear sights on goal, won't shoot. He needs to beat another man. He just has to.
He was putting in a shift at left back, though. I saw him tracking back.
Yeah,
what are you doing defending down here, bro?
It's just like, but you know what it is? Like,
he's all about the Hoga Benito.
Oh, whatever, bro. Whatever.
It should say something. You know what I found hilarious? I saw the commentators today talking about, oh my God, like Arsenal are strikerless. And I remember when City won that league title, they said they won it strikerless. You know which player both those teams employed? Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah.
He's so ass, they don't even count him as a striker. And if he's not a striker, I want anyone on this planet to tell me what he is. because he's not a left back. He's not a midfielder. He's not a left winger, as we saw today. He's not a right winger. I thank you for the first 4 months of what you gave to us pre-World Cup when you signed. I think you genuinely brought us up a level. But it's time. Thank you for your service. Please go away.
Is the false nine dead in football?
Bro,
is that just like a no, just in general? Was that like a 1 year? Was that like a 1 year thing? We're just gonna try this hipster false nine stuff. I don't see it anymore.
Yeah.
The false nine was literally a position that FIFA invented to accommodate where Messi played in that Barca team.
Yeah.
It's not a real thing. Like, you have to be a superb footballer to fill in that many, because it's one position, but you play everything. You're playing midfielder, you're playing striker, you're playing winger. It's just what Kane thinks he is what a false nine is.
Kane does that, yeah.
But moving on from the game, let's talk implications.
Right.
Oh shit.
Liverpool today, and this is where I'm about to start running crazy agendas. I'm going to share another little helpful little graphic.
Oh, now you're starting the agendas, not with the Gabriel Silva thing.
I'm starting agendas. That's my job, bro. Here we go. Share this.
With this graph, I feel like he's gonna bring up. Oh, never mind.
Oh my god, dude.
It's a lot.
Honestly,
if he's the Excel spreadsheet guy now.
Let's talk about it.
It's a lot to read, but let's be real for a second. The Premier League table as it stands today has Liverpool at 67 points, Arsenal at 65, and Man City at 64.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? All teams have played each other in the top 3, right? And all of them have the same amount of games remaining in the Premier League. Also, let me add, according to Opta, Liverpool's probability to win this league, I believe, is 58%?
44.
Sorry, 44%. Arsenal's is 19, and City's is whatever's remaining. Right? 30-something. This league is well and truly in Liverpool's hands.
Dude, well, you do this every time.
No, yeah, exactly. I came prepared this time, right? The reason we're not going to do this, we're not going to talk about Opta when just in the beginning of the podcast we were talking about
who quotes Opta?
The odds don't mean anything, right? What do the odds mean? The XG doesn't mean anything. You can't statistically predict, right, what outcomes are going to be. We're talking about Liverpool has the easiest schedule. Let's look at your chart here, right? That you've included Bayern on here twice for the league, by the way.
By the way, can I just say, to fight bias, let's see what community this chart is from. Liverpool FC. Your boys made this chart, not me.
I see that. But you guys are playing Luton at home next year, crying about, oh man, like this is just going to be impossible. Liverpool's got the easiest fixtures.
Who do you play that same week?
I see who we play.
The team that's held 70 goals this season.
I understand. When you're on top, it is yours to lose. But the lack of accountability of like, oh man, since we're sitting here now, if we lose, it was meant to be Liverpool's. Don't project that.
It's losers insurance, man. It's losers insurance.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I'm just telling you right now. So we got the Opta probability. Let's say you're not a stats guy. Put that aside. Let's just look at the Premier League table. You are 2 points ahead of everyone else.
After today, absolutely no.
Arsenal was literally top of the league like 2 days ago.
No, we weren't. Listen.
What do you mean? No, you weren't.
We were tied on points with you, and now we're not.
That was number one, though.
So XG doesn't mean anything.
What does that mean?
Excuse me, goal difference doesn't mean anything.
No, goal difference absolutely means something, but we weren't any points clear, right? You are 2 points clear. It doesn't have to go to goal difference with you. All you have to do, there was a scenario, let me tell you, with goal difference, there's a scenario if Arsenal won every single game remaining and Liverpool just won with a higher margin in every game, that we still lose the league. All you have to do is just win. There's no asterisk.
Absolutely. Now my counter argument is the same for you, brother. Because what's the point of this discourse? That if Liverpool win, it's going to be but
no. But look,
if they lose,
Arsenal,
it's going to be.
I don't get
Arsenal
it.
can win every single game and not win the league if you just do your job.
You should have won today for that. You know what I'm saying? Like
I understand. That's what I'm saying. Now, it's yours to lose. Now,
okay, so
yesterday it was yours to lose.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not debating that.
Are we playing hot potato with like who gets the bigger blame at the end of the season?
Yeah, no. 100%. Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like now forget stats. You want me to go here crying about we lost points to Tottenham, crazy call with the VAR.
We can't talk about what's happened.
A Declan Rice double dribble.
Right. Here's what I'm saying. The reason why now is the important point, because everyone in the top three has played each other. This
Right.
fixture was significant for a reason, right? We are all done deciding each other's outcomes.
Right.
Now it's us playing the rest and seeing who's the best, right? Like, we can't decide each other's fate.
I don't get this line of like, what are you trying to accomplish? Though?
I'm trying to accomplish
put the
by
pressure
saying
off
this.
yourself, or like put pressure on them.
I mean, look, I don't have to put pressure on them. The pressure is already on them, right?
I
Like,
promise
the
you,
pressure's
Mohamed
on
Salah's
all
not
three
watching this
teams,
podcast. Like, damn, bro, if the on Pariah pod,
No,
then
it's
all
not
us
me.
to lose.
That's the beautiful thing about this. It doesn't take an argument. It takes you looking at the league table. You're 2 points clear with 9 games left. You have the easiest run of fixtures. If you don't believe me, it's right here according to your own people, right? And
My
But
God,
dude, it's so marginal because if again, like 1 week from now, if Arsenal go top and Liverpool go, then you're gonna have the same thing. Like
know,
if
I hear
Arsenal's
you.
to lose.
I'm not telling you it's not marginal. Of course it's marginal. It's a 3-way title race for a reason. But this entire time, there's been, Faris, honest to God, what 2 fixtures have we been talking about since January? We've been talking about Liverpool-Arsenal. We've been
Sure.
talking about Liverpool-City. And what was the
Sure.
last one? The game that happened today, right?
Okay,
After
I'll
that,
give you that. Sure.
After that, we said we would know a path.
Yeah,
right?
remember we were saying that everything's gonna be decided by March
31st. We literally said this date, right? Like, this is not me.
But I remember last week where like you guys said if Arsenal like win this, lose this, or draw
It's
this,
not.
like it won't. I forgot what was actually what
Right.
did we
No,
say
no,
about that?
We said the winner will not be decided tomorrow, right? But we
Yeah.
said who's in the driver's seat will be decided on March 31st. Based on what I've said in the past, I'm not changing. I'm not repainting anything. Based on what we have today, Liverpool is in the driver's seat. And if you
Can
deny
I
that,
give my?
and
can I
you're
give my,
sitting on the middle console right now, but not even the passenger seat. You're
Wait,
right
can
there
I
with the
give
hand
my?
on the
Can I give
wheel.
my thoughts on this? Can I give my thoughts on this
Please.
take?
sure.
I just think personally, because of what happened at the end of last year, all the talk of Arsenal bottling it, you're trying to like reciprocate that by saying, "Oh, if Liverpool fumble this now, they've done the same thing we did, which is bottle it."
100%.
Yes,
And
no,
that's-
I'm speaking from experience because I will tell you today, our team bottled it last year, so I can
Right.
speak to this. I'm telling you now, this is the same scenario.
Dude, the you guys are literally swapping places weekly. It's not the same scenario.
But okay, I'll tell you this. When you
I
say
think you have to say that the fixture list it in itself has an argument. Like you really can see Liverpool's fixture list as the easiest of the 3, and then
Sure.
being at the top of at this point.
no, Rad, I'm seeing your hesitation here. Like
Yeah.
that part isn't debatable. Like I know you probably haven't looked at this.
I'll give them that too. I'll give them the fixtures. It seems just by looking at this, sure, it's a lighter schedule. But I'm saying the reasoning itself, like the point you're trying to get across, might just be a bit of a stretch. Of
And
like,
I think Forrest, you keep repeating this that like the table keeps changing. That's not genuine. The league leader has changed once since January, and it's when Arsenal went joint top for 1 week.
right.
Right? So it hasn't been flip flopping. It's been Liverpool.
Then
in the league.
maybe if I rephrase, I just feel like compared to last year, this year has been much tighter. Like this is the closest
sure.
title race since 2013-14. So
For
I just
sure,
can't
for sure.
feel like one team has to hold all this social media blame of like, oh, you guys fumbled this. And I
That's
know
where I
you wanna,
disagree.
You want to get on that. That's fine. You
So
know?
we're talking about the love of the game. Is the love of the game just to get on Twitter afterwards and have a discourse about bottling
No.
this? And...
Low key around a little bit of it is honestly
Okay.
a little bit of it is
Listen,
bragging. bro.
if this sport was all about just watching every Sunday and not ever talking about it, this podcast wouldn't exist. Twitter wouldn't exist, right? Both those things exist for a reason. They add to the drama, and also forget Twitter, forget podcast. The channels that broadcast these very games discuss these very talking points, right? And I'm not saying anything here today that hasn't already been said. I just want to make sure we're in alignment that this is
Sure,
true.
we can be in alignment, so let's just enjoy it, right? Like, let's talk about Liverpool
sure.
being on top. Let's talk about this 7-year wonder now that Mohamed Salah has been. And today, I mean, the first half, I just checked the tape right now, had 6 shots. He's connecting. They weren't on goal. He's finding them, that connection with McAllister. He's hot. He's back. He's someone to be afraid of. So, sure, that's not being in the driver's seat is not a position to be, like, afraid of. You know what I
I
mean?
agree, which is why I'm
hands on the
confused
wheel
when you're pushing
comfortably.
back. I'm confused when you're pushing back. This
My
is the-
pushing back is like, it's like, why are we arguing about like
there
sure,
shouldn't
like
be.
at the end of
There
the
shouldn't
season?
be. You're right.
Okay, so it's just a little like a little sibling jabbing, like just so you know, when you win.
Yeah. Look, I'll,
You
I'll
should-
tell you this: if you win this league, you will look at March 31st as the day you won this league. It won't be any other day.
I disagree.
If they go the rest of the season top of the Premier League, they won it today. We're helpless.
bet-
Well,
Beyond this
again,
point.
the difference being that teams have
That-
won, obviously, the Premier League like weeks before the end of the season. Liverpool is not going to win until the last day of the season, the way these top three teams
Yeah.
are rolling out.
Other concept that kind of like beats this argument is that we know for a fact Liverpool ain't winning every fucking game.
Do we know that?
We
Clip
know
that, just in case.
We
They're
know that
losing at
for a
Old
fact.
Trafford. They're losing at Old
They're
Trafford.
dropping points here and there, and then there might be a shift in the
Right.
the Premier League, and then that's the thing. I feel like all three teams I guarantee you they're dropping points. So it can change the narrative, it can change the pressure, it can change who the optic
Sure, we
rating
lose
is,
to
whatever.
Sheffield next week. I'm ready to sit here and talk about Arsenal. You are now in the driver's seat. We'll be
I
looking
can't-
back April 2nd.
I can't wait to have
If you
that
lose to
first.
Sheffield, we are in the driver's seat. I can tell you that today.
we'll take the blame.
Give me
Take
the
the
keys.
wheel.
Give me
Give
the
me the
wheel.
blame.
That's mine.
Listen, so
Um,
we talked about last week, just I'm shifting a little bit away from this because I feel like we're getting a little cyclic here. We talked about Tottenham, right? How they apparently had the keys to decide, right?
Yeah.
What do we think about Villa? Are they just a washed? Like, are we not worried about what Villa can do here? Because I'm
Well-
looking at these fixtures.
for
And
City,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Villa, Watkins is injured for City,
Mm.
so that game might be a wash.
But if I'm not mistaken, I think City are the only ones. Okay, never mind. They're playing them at home.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
and
Liverpool's the only one playing them away.
Knowing our luck, Watkins will probably be fit by the 15th to play us. That's a fixture I'm scared about because we lost to Villa. It's one of the teams that beat us this season.
Not the same
Right.
Villa team as that game, though. I will say.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Still got some firepower.
And I think we're stronger too, but
Yeah.
I don't think Wolves away for us is easy. So this is Faris, I want you to respond to this. This Liverpool community rated these fixtures on their own. They have Chelsea at home as an easier fixture than Everton away and Brighton away. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not even gonna argue that. Why do you want me to argue that?
They ain't even
I'm,
put
I'm
it in
there
the-
with them, bro. I'm in
They
the
got-
Liverpool community. I probably told the guy, like, "Yo, let me make you this chart."
Obviously Tottenham away that's gonna be brutal, right? And then interestingly, if we make it to the Champions League semifinal, we'll have to play United at Old Trafford 3 days after we play either Real Madrid or Man City away from home. I see that as a very big problem point.
You don't see United losing that just for the love of the game. Just snatch that away from Liverpool. Just sit down for 90 minutes.
I genuinely, I don't think United are that shameless. The club I worry about doing that is Tottenham. I could see Tottenham holding 11. to
No, it's not gonna be
Liverpool.
Tottenham. It's gonna be, dude.
No
there's gonna
way.
be 16 referees in the stadium reffing this game. I promise you, it's gonna be the most highly contested.
They're gonna
Like,
have four bars.
Every decision, the card's gonna be out. I'm sorry.
Hopefully. But yeah, I don't know. I think Liverpool's scary ones, obviously United away. You got
Crystal Palace.
they got Crystal Palace at home as a yellow fixture, bro. That is the greenest fixture of all time. I could go in that game, bro. Fulham away, I think should be upgraded to like a red. That's not a
Wow.
easy game at all. And then obviously Villa is not easy. Everton away, given the circumstance for you guys, is not easy, right? Spurs at home, not easy, and then Wolves on the final day. I think the last whatever times you guys have played Wolves on the final day, you've lost. And
Damn.
we've
Yeah,
played them like
flashbacks to, no, we beat Wolves 2 years ago, but it was Gundogan just scoring like two
Yeah.
goals in the last minute of his game
Basically, getting out.
against Villa. That was just it was.
I hope that happens
We
again.
won the league for like a good 30 minutes. But that was don't want to talk about that.
And then City, it's not looking good for them. They got Villa away, Madrid twice, Chelsea in the FA Cup, Brighton away. For some reason, that's an orange. Forest at home, 3 points. Wolves at home, Fulham away, and then this is the issue. This is the problem for
That's
them.
their bogey team, dude.
Yeah, Tottenham away, followed by West Ham at home on the final day. That I can
It's kind of
see.
crazy. All 3 teams have home games the last day.
Yeah,
Are
Yeah,
you
like
guys?
the,
Are you
the
guys
green
equally?
Everton.
yeah, we're the green Everton.
The
Are you
green
guys
Everton for
equally,
Arsenal, orange for us.
As far
I
as
was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, are you guys equally confident in your own teams like winning this? Let's say you're both in the driver's seat. Who's winning the Premier League, man? You said it was decided
I mean,
today.
I'm-
Who's winning the Premier League?
I'm saying Liverpool. I think it was decided in January for me, right? Like I'm ready to. I mean, am I gonna sit here and say, "Oh no, Arsenal, they can just take it any week they
No,
want"?
I'm not
Nah,
responding like that. I'm saying that the January comment was crazy.
No, look,
No, I mean, it's-
we're not speaking as fans right now, right? Obviously, as fans, we should all believe we're winning. But give me your honest thought. Do you think you're gonna win, as like a objective opinion?
I don't see why not. That's my take.
That's fair, man. That's fair. I got City still.
Really?
Can I say something
It-
nuts?
it's
I don't
three
have.
points.
I know for sure it won't be City now.
Really?
It'll
So
be.
you just have it as an Arsenal Liverpool.
I think it'll be Arsenal or Liverpool. I think the luxury Liverpool has is that they're playing Europa League, and I think the luxury Liverpool have is that this team has won competitions already, right? They've won 6 Champions Leagues. They've won the Premier League recently, even though it's not something they win a lot. I think
Okay.
where Arsenal is kind of disadvantaged is it's very difficult for Arteta to prioritize one or the other. I think if push comes to shove, Klopp will go, man, bum this Europa League. I want the Prem, right?
You think Arteta is going to value Champions League over being able to win the league in this position? Because that's a disgusting
The
take.
thing is, he doesn't have the luxury to choose. He has to field the strongest 11 in every game, otherwise there will be issues for him, right? Like, Klopp can make that call. He has a luxury to make that call because he's already won, and Europa League is not
Yeah.
the end all
No,
be
but
all.
Klopp
And
also
that's what
has
Klopp
his-
has done this for years. He's always treated these tournaments like nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if Arteta, our first season back in the Champions League, does not show the competition respect, it's an issue not only from the owners, from the fans, from the media, everything.
Yeah.
Right?
I think he's already shown a respect, though. Like, honestly, like, from where you guys are so far from where the squad was over the past 6 years before he came on, like, it's not going to be seen as a failure if you guys even
No. I'm not
are
talking that.
embarrassed to Bayern twice.
I'm talking about lineups, right?
Lineup wise, yeah.
Like
Mm.
Klopp
Fielding
can
will be there.
rotate, and it's
Right.
nothing will be said. If we don't field our strongest 11 against Bayern,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a problem. Like, so, and like it works both ways. Not even from showing a respect to the opposition. We need our strongest 11 to beat Bayern.
to beat Bayern, right?
You can probably beat a Europa League team without your strongest 11, right? That's where the difference in competition makes a difference. For that reason, plus the fixtures, plus your points advantage, I think genuinely, like, no narrative, it's Liverpool's title. Like, not even like trying to push anything. Everything points to you should win this, right? But I can't even escape the fact that, like, every stat I see online, Arsenal is, if not clear leader, in the conversation, right? So, like, it
Clear
would make
leader in what
sense.
sense?
Like, you look at field tilt, you look at XG
No.
difference. You look,
God.
I'm talking about I'm talking about underlying. Like, you want objective opinions, right? Like, obviously on the eye test, we took 4 points off you. We took 4 points off City. We have shown on the pitch against your two teams we're better than you, right? We have shown against all the other sides that we are comically better than a lot of the teams in the Premier League. Also, in the underlying stats, same thing. So, for statistics reasons, watching reasons, I have to back Arsenal, even if I'm not a fan. But the
Arsenal's
other
league
factors,
to lose.
I mean, could be. From a numbers perspective, we lost the league. If we lose against Fulham, we dropped, what, 5 points against Fulham, right? Like, that was a fumble on our part. If we don't do that, it's a very different story. Obviously, you can do that for all the fixtures. But that's why I'm saying it's either going to be Arsenal or Liverpool. I'd probably objectively pick Liverpool.
Bro, unrelated, but you used to be able to win the Premier League with like 8 losses.
Yeah,
You miss those days? You used
can't
to
do
like, dude, you could win the Premier League with like 84 points.
let's talk like historically, right? While we're on that note, like in a position like this, you say 2013-14 was the last time we've had a Premier
The
League
last time
this
three
close.
teams were this close at this
So
stage.
how often is it that a team in Liverpool's position is going to bottle it? Obviously, circumstances are going to be different, right? You have injuries
It's funny
that
you say
can
that
happen
because
one
that
season
was,
or the other.
That was what
That-
you did.
That's
that's literally what happened. That was
You're
a
the
slip.
last team to bottle it from that position.
So I would not like use that year as a good
What
reference.
was Arsenal Leicester though? 2016.
So we were third leading up to that run-in. So like Spurs technically bottled it that season, you could say. They came third in a two-horse race. That's always the joke, right? It was them or
Yeah.
Leicester, and they finished third that season. We were in the lead at Christmas, so you could say like but like when this run-in thing, that's the Premier
Yeah,
League
it
used to be
wasn't. It
coined.
wasn't that close.
Yeah, it wasn't that close. But yeah, the last one was you guys, and then before then, I was 6 years old. So let's not even delve into that. But I don't know. I think a lot of things are in your favor. So this might be the year you see it through.
Yo, funniest result that Liverpool can drop potential points in? Thoughts? Is it Everton?
It's Everton,
Yeah.
and I think
No,
Everton got up.
I think
Gotta play it.
United at
I
Old
think
Trafford,
United.
a loss there would
After-
literally like fans would kill
After the
themselves.
FA Cup, 100%. Yeah.
I agree with you that would be the most
The Everton
embarrassing
one is
way.
just so improbable that if it happens, it's almost like that's not even on
Right.
the players. That was God or something. It's not even something to joke about.
No, but the United one, I think Ten Hag's gonna buy into this hype, and for that
Ten
reason, it won't
Hag,
happen.
I
Yeah.
don't even want to talk about Ten Hag right now.
I think Arsenal's is Chelsea. If they drop points to us, it would be hilarious.
I think Arsenal's is Spurs and then
Yeah.
Chelsea. I think
Yeah.
that Spurs loss, to be frank with you, is likely. It's not even improbable. It's
I
very
think the
much.
scariest thing for Arsenal is that Chelsea and Brighton are the two biggest wild card teams this season in terms of they can have an embarrassing loss one week and then just the craziest win pulling out the next week. So those yellows, I don't know how trustworthy those two are for Arsenal either.
Yeah, man. And let's not pretend like teams haven't lost points to greens this season either, right?
Yeah.
And like anything could happen, bro. Like today, Liverpool goes down 1-0 against Brighton in the first minute, right? Like
Yeah.
weird stuff happens all the time, right? Who knows? But let's just enjoy it, as Rio Ferdinand said. I had fun today because it means I can enjoy the rest of this. Forrest, I saw in the chat you said you don't want to talk about something, but contractually you're obligated to.
Come on, man. We got a clock running, dude.
Let's talk about in the last couple minutes.
Extra time.
Go
Chelsea.
ahead. Ask away.
Chelsea took on the mighty Burnley on Saturday, I believe. Listen, you take the lead in the 44th minute. They said, nah, hold up. Equalized in the 47th
Bro,
minute.
tell them the context. Tell them the context of how we took
Yeah.
the lead.
Let's talk
We
about
didn't take the lead. They gave us the lead. The referees gave us the lead.
Goodness.
Yeah, honestly, this was a disgrace. We had...
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I'll say? I know you think you scammed the penalty. I think in the last month or so, Mudryk is doing better.
Yeah.
Like there, I'm seeing improvement. Anyway, Mudryk gets the ball.
Crazy what happens
Takes-
when you play Pochettino. That's insane.
Yeah. Takes a crazy first touch. Him and I'm gonna butcher this name, Lorenz Asignon.
That was
have
pretty
a
good.
little, I don't know, tango, a little nudge. This referee not only calls the penalty confidently, he says, "Nah, hold up." I'm feeling Chelsea. Gives Lorenz Asignon second yellow card, sends him off. This is Burnley we're talking about at
I'm just saying
Stamford
that
Bridge.
that first touch was so bad that the entire stadium had no idea where that ball was gonna go, and
Dog.
that even the defender was going the other way. He started pulling his shirt.
Have you ever heard of this thing, this phenomenon people talk about where whenever you are playing against someone new to a sport, it's
Yeah.
the hardest to defend them. It's the hardest to play against them because they don't move like they're supposed to. Mudryk did that to this defender. That defender was so taken aback by that first touch. His body
play.
didn't know what to do.
Like in Mudryk's mind, he did a step over. Like his legs went that way, but in his mind, he did a rainbow flick.
Oh man,
Ridiculous.
You know how they say like Messi, the game moves in slow motion for him. For Mudryk, it's in 2x speed. Like
Yeah.
that brother
Oh my god.
is nuts. But anyway, they get the penalty. Cole Palmer converts Lopanenka. Like it's looking good, right?
It was nice.
You go into halftime, everything's chilling. You come out of halftime, they score a banger. Like I'm talking.
Yeah.
I really felt for you there because there's
No, it was
nothing.
great.
More,
It was a great goal.
there's nothing more frustrating than when a really terrible team scores a worldie against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My biggest flashback that I still think about to this day, one of the first Arteta seasons, we're playing Leicester. Damari Gray pulls out from 35 yards,
That was Everton, right?
top right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stunned. Like, that's not supposed to happen. But anyway, this happens. Whatever. You have to move on. In the 78th minute, Cole Palmer goes clean through with a beautiful pass by Enzo Fernandez. No one gave him his flowers. I had to give him his flowers. It was a great pass.
I gotta correct you. It was an Enzo pass to Sterling, who then flicked
really?
it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
That's how you know. Like no one cares about Sterling, and they just said Enzo pass. Sterling flicked it on.
I just heard the commentator say Fernandez.
That's Racismo.
Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, great play. Anyway, right?
Yeah.
Palmer goes clean through, puts it away. Amazing finish, 78th minute. You're playing Burnley, who are down to 10 men. It should be business over. In the 81st minute, I couldn't even explain how this goal happened. Like,
And
it
was coming. That's the worst part, bro. They were doing attacking plays down a man at Stamford Bridge, like with 20 minutes to go. Like they were getting consistent. Like what's his name? Jay Rodriguez out of nowhere is a sub. He hits the bar on a volley, and then he's doing bicycle kicks. He's doing headers. We're up a man. This is the I don't even know what happens to us like after halftime. Like what is the mentality to be like, bro? What if we just like stop trying to play football and just like vibe?
It's that in combination with the other teams like, yo, this is Chelsea. Hold up. Like, we could probably make something happen here. Like, bro, I trust.
And the
I've
goal,
been there.
oh my god, Petrovic, like the ball just comes at his hands and he just goes like this, like just right through his hand. Like, it was so like my head was gone,
taps,
dude.
bro. But, bro, that honestly, bro, I hate to make a bad situation worse.
How could you make that worse?
Dude, that was your chance. You had 2 games in hand.
That was
Sorry,
our chance.
3 if you count West Ham. You at that moment you were 5 points off 7th with 3 games in hand.
But still 9th though, or something like that.
No. If they won out, they would have been ahead of West Ham, who are currently 7th.
Wow.
And their opponents in that period, let me just read these opponents.
my
They were going to play
God.
Burnley. Obviously, United's a tough one, but Sheffield. They just needed 6 points. So Burnley and Sheffield to go into 7th. It's like...
What do you think? I was hearing that you're gonna make Europe, Forrest. What's
No,
happening?
that was on the cards for a split second. 2-1 up to Burnley. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. We're like a few points off 6th, 7th here. We like, we just need United to drop some points, which happened.
6-7 this season is Europe coming to you. Like that's not someone to be like, 7th. Let's go.
Brother,
That's a fire take.
brother. I'm not disagreeing with you. Like if this was like 8 months ago, I'd be like, I don't know, you know.
And let me
like,
say something
I've seen
even
the
more
tail of this
controversial.
season.
The league table is lying. United are 8 points clear of you. I'm not convinced they're better than you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, you probably, definitely, like the league table doesn't lie about results. You have capitulated a bit more than them, right? You have dropped points where you shouldn't have more than them, and they have picked up points where they shouldn't have more than you. But team for team, the reason I'm so excited for Thursday, I think Chelsea's better than Manchester United this season, which feels crazy to say. I don't know who that speaks more to, them or you, but let me know what you guys think.
And then, on the league table line, I'm not gonna lie, this might be like left field.
Let's
but
go.
bro, Liverpool being there, it is like a fucking lie to me. Because this fucking team is not at all fucking.
Oh.
Yo, that's
Yo,
not
we-
going
we-
with the narrative. That's
We drove
we got-
we drove past the Liverpool exit, and this man just hit a U-turn and onto oncoming traffic. Let's go back to Liverpool.
I'm saying I saw a stat today. My man said Liverpool came back from losing positions and gained 26
6
points.
points. That's true.
Yeah.
26.
But come on,
I
but
mean,
that's their
for a
DNA.
Liverpool
They've been doing
fan,
that for
that's
like
just
5 years.
Yeah, that's. And we talked about that in like episodes early in the season where Liverpool was going to play like that, where we were going to concede goals early and then just bang, bang, bang.
Nah,
like,
but this is the most you've ever done it.
This is like
absolutely, it's a special season. I'm not denying that. But now, what are we doing? Is it like
stories.
Liverpool?
It's all about the stories.
You have 5 different stories right now. It's like you got all the drafts loaded up, except it's not 1 or 2. You got like 4 or 5 that you made up now.
Listen, we're ready. We're ready as ever.
Chelsea United has the chance to be the funniest game of all season.
Oh, I can't wait.
Before we close, let's get our predictions in for that. I'm going bold.
Let's go.
I'm going 3-0 Chelsea.
You want me? Okay, hold on. How do I even follow that?
Actually,
up?
wait. I don't even believe that. You're leaking a goal at least 3-1 Chelsea. 3-1 Chelsea.
I'm saying 3-2 Chelsea, and the reason why is even to like an
Damn.
outsider, we were talking about Chelsea versus United, right? The way I've seen these sparks from Chelsea is that the reason that this talent is there, obviously, right? But it's just like bringing in 1 billion players for $1 billion that haven't had the chance to play together. Half of them get injured every time. It's a managerial thing. It's an ownership thing. No one's denying the talent there because when it clicks, right? With United, it's a shit squad, right? But then you have Eric Ten Hag, who's just like shitting on it even more. I don't know. It's a disaster project over there. Their name is the only thing carrying them. So long term,
Damn.
I'm going to say in like 3 years, I think the Chelsea project, if they can figure out, from the top,
Nah,
going
but
down.
Gareth Southgate's taking charge, bro. It's
Yeah,
all
Is
gonna
that,
turn
is that a
around.
confirm? That's a real thing?
It's not confirmed.
It's
Most
heavily.
likely.
But you should tell
discussed.
people it's gonna happen and just see
Yeah.
what they say.
Far as
If I was predicting this game back in December, I would say Chelsea win. But after seeing the numerous months of capitulation by this fucking team, bro, Man United is winning 3-1.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I like that answer because my answer is gonna be Chelsea's gonna win the first half. Chelsea's gonna go in 2-0 up, and what happens at the end of the game, whether it's 4-2,
Mason
5-2, I
Mount.
don't know.
Mason Mount dagger.
Wait a minute. Oh my God, it's his homecoming. Oh my God, dude, we
And he's
have a
fit.
banner.
He
they
just
pull the banner out,
had
bro.
his first goal too. Like he's ready for this.
that should have been a winner.
Oh
too,
my
right?
God.
But can I also just say, both these teams, and the reason this game is so interesting to me, both these teams do this thing I've seen before. They play to the level of their opposition. So when Chelsea plays City, they play to City's level. When Chelsea play Burnley, they play to Burnley's level. United, same thing. When they play Arsenal, they play to Arsenal's level. So when you play each other, it might explode.
No, but dude, one of the worst performances I've seen from Chelsea this year was at Old Trafford. Like they looked like world beaters against us. So if we don't learn from that performance, that's why I feel like it won't be like a clear cut, like they just beat us really bad. But I can't commit to a win, dude. I've seen us
Come on, man.
literally give people goals back. Like, you know what? We can't win this game. Come on, here, take it back.
What are we doing? Hey, are we winning right now? What the hell?
Yeah, so I'm sticking with that. I do think we lose. Like, I'm not confident in that. But I think we'll win the first half.
No, I think
Man,
bad luck.
And the
I think bad luck runs-
XG.
I see Chelsea as a seesaw. I think bad luck runs out. This is the game where we see the United fans crying, the Chelsea fans
Rihanna,
celebrating.
I've been saying that shit since like episode 3 of this.
Bro, we've been doing we'll do 40 minutes of real title race talk, and then they're like, "Yo, Forrest, what's it like down there?" And I just rant for 10 minutes. We've been doing this for 20 episodes.
Yeah, genuinely, this season has been hilariously consistent. Like in how these storylines work. Just to throw a little wrench in the plans. Let's do a prediction for Bournemouth versus Crystal Palace tomorrow
Wait,
at
no.
2:45 p.m.
I'll tell you right now, Solanke hat trick, 3-0, Bournemouth. Did you see the game where they came back 4-3? Might be the game of the season. I'm not even joking.
That was a great game.
I'm going 2-1. I'm going 2-1 Palace.
I'm gonna say 2-0 Bournemouth. Yeah, give me that Solanke.
Yeah,
Dude, I'm gonna lean off FPL, dude, because I got my Bournemouth boys, and Eze has disappointed me early. I had to sell him after trusting him again and again and again. We're going Bournemouth all the way.
Alrighty. Well, that concludes it for this episode. Listen, I know we had this date marked on our calendar. It didn't deliver the way we wanted, but hopefully the pod did. Thank you guys for watching.
Wow.
We will see you.
Let's get no new thing on the pod next episode.
Dude,
Yeah.
did you see they exposed what he looked like?
Oh, I didn't see it.
He looks like the guy that tells you to invest $1 in Bitcoin in 2013. Exactly like that dude. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But
It's like bald guy.
dude, I've been sending out emails. None of these guys respond. But we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Peace.